Welcome to Super Bowl 60 update. Well, Super Bowl 60, the last game of the 2025 NFL season. It was a defensive football game in for the first three quarters until the first touchdown of Super Bowl 60. Sam Darnold to AJ Barner. Then you had Drake May to Matt Collins. Um, Then it was the interception or fumble recovery by Nwosu, and then the Rhamondre Stevenson touchdown. Final score: Seahawks 29, Patriots 13. Seattle wins their second Super Bowl in franchise history. Their MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III, 27 carries, 135 rushing yards. He averaged five five a 5 yards on the ground. And he is the first running back to win Super Bowl MVP since Terrell Davis, which it's been a long time for a running back to win this Super Bowl award. Well deserved for Kenneth Walker, a man who's been through a journey from Wake Forest to Michigan State. They get drafted by Seattle, which there were still questions on his future in Seattle. But entering his final year of his rookie contract, Kenneth Walker delivered the biggest moments in the Super Bowl, and now he's an MVP. But here's the other question. We're going to have to answer this, or I'll have to answer this. Is Kenneth Walker going to return? Is he going to stay in Seattle? I think he's going to stay in Seattle. Now, he's going to be a free agent in 2026. And I do believe Kenneth Walker wants to come back to Seattle and maybe run it back again. But it is hard to win back to back. As every team knows, winning the Super Bowl may be a hard task, but winning back to back is kind of like a boss level of video games. So I think there's going to be questions around Kenneth Walker. Is he going to return to Seattle as he is getting closer to hitting into the free agency market? Defensive player of the game, Ernest Jones the sixth. He's won a Super Bowl with the Rams. Now he's won it for the second time. He had 11 total tackles, 10 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss. And let me tell you, shout out to the Seahawks defense. Defense wins championships. It's the mindset of this game. And the better defense showed up. 6 sacks on the Patriots O-line. Wow. Let me tell you, when you play a defense like this, yeah, you're going to have a hard time scoring against this defense. And this is the game. Everyone thought this would be a 34-14 kind of a game. This actually felt like that kind of a game. But New England's offense cannot score a single touchdown until the third quarter because they had hard time against Mike McDonald's defense. Like six drives, all of them were punts. That's not good. Why? Because that defense, Seattle, they're a legit defense. I know New England's faced the Chargers defense, but yeah, the Chargers offense has been banged up. O-line. They play the number one scoring defense or number one ranked defense in the league, the Texans. But Nico Collins is injured. He didn't play in that game, and C.J. Stroud of the Texans O-line didn't even get the chance to show up. And in the AFC Championship game, yeah, the good news was Bo Nix was injured. Jarrett Stidham started. But we know this Broncos defense was really good. And the Patriots still managed to win the game. But in the Super Bowl, no Seahawks players got injured. And that defense, number one scoring defense in the league, dominated Drake May. I think as we get to free agency, I think the questions are going to be around New England and Seattle. First, let's start with Seattle, the defending champs. What are they going to address a lot? To me, I think it starts with Kenneth Walker, as I mentioned earlier. Do they bring him back? If they bring him back, I would say a 3-year extension or 4-year extension. Um, then you have Boise Mafe, who is going to enter the free agency market. I do think he's going to end up leaving Seattle and might go to a team that will likely have him as a starter as a pass rusher. And if they lose some of those key players from free agency, they can go to the draft and pick up some big time prospects to join that Seahawks team and hopefully win a third Lombardi to Seattle. And again, John Schneider, great job by John Schneider as the GM. Great job by Mike Macdonald. He is, of course, the youngest head coach, third youngest head coach to win the Super Bowl. And then give the coaching staff credit. I know Erden Durham, who is the defensive coordinator, he's going to get some head coaching jobs maybe next offseason. Not this upcoming offseason, but next year's offseason. He's done a tremendous job with the defense. But Clint Kubiak, unfortunately, and yes, Clint Kubiak is going to take the Raiders' job, which is now official. As of recorded, he and the Raiders have agreed on a 5-year deal to make him as the next head coach. So that will leave a big gap. Who is going to be the offensive coordinator? So we'll have to find out. I do believe they're going to want a guy that is going to want to create play action and want to run the football. So we'll see where they go in Seattle's OC job filling. But as the roster goes, this team can go back to the playoffs and make another run to the Super Bowl. But they got to stay healthy if they're going to win another Super Bowl. And shout out to Sam Darnold. How about that for Sam Darnold? He got drafted in 2018 by the Jets. The Jets said, nope, we're going to ship you to Carolina. The Panthers didn't want him. Nope. They sent him to San Francisco as a backup. He leaves San Francisco to take the Vikings QB job. He had 14 wins, but it was not enough to get them to where they want to go. And that was him feeling like confident to go to Seattle and win a championship in there. And he did it. Tremendous job for Sam Darnold. Proud of the team. This is well-earned. This is a well-deserved football team that should win at least another Lombardi trophy. Not at least, but for my personal thing, I would say at least another Super Bowl ring, which, by the way, hopefully they win another one. So as for the Patriots, so what's going to be next for the Patriots? I got to tell you, they need to address the offensive line. That left side was a disaster in that game. All right, no blame on the right side. Left side, yeah, they're rookies. They're gonna improve. Will Campbell, yes, he's gonna improve from year one, and year two, it's gonna be important for him. He has to show up, probably a future best left tackle in the game. But I think the left guard is going to have to be maybe a question mark. Do they keep him as left guard, or they're going to go to free agency to bring someone there? But I think my only main question is this. Who will New England bring back Stephon Diggs? Now, this is where I am. You have Demario Douglas, Keyshawn Boutte, who are the two good receivers. That's two, okay? You got Matt Collins, who I believe is going to enter free agency. Stephon Diggs, who's going to hit free agency also. I think they are going to have to address a number one veteran receiver. Maybe trade for an A.J. Brown or trade for George Pickens. But if they can't get those big name receivers, I think it starts by probably bring back Stephon Diggs for like a 2-year extension and hopefully make another run to the Super Bowl. This team reminds me of 2021 Bengals team. You remember that team that they were a disaster when Joe Burrow got injured, to then the next year, the Bengals were outstanding. They beat the Chiefs on the road. They went to the Super Bowl, but lost to the Rams in SoFi Stadium. New England is that team from about 5 years ago. This is a team, I think New England, do not count them out. Now, they're going to be tested next year. I look at their opponents. They're going to get the Seahawks again. They're going to get them again. But they're going to get the Broncos again, and they got a massive matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs, which I would love to see that one because that would be a future AFC championship game between Patrick Mahomes and Drake May. Two quarterbacks going at each other in 2026. But that's for the 2026 season. We're not there yet. We're like 7 months away for another 2026 football season. And for the Patriots, I thought I had them at 9-8, and look at them, 14-3. They made it to the Super Bowl. They didn't get the job done, but they're gonna get back on track. Hopefully, they'll make another run back to the Super Bowl. So now, with Super Bowl 60 out of the way, I want to get this a quick notification for this one. Super Bowl 61. They already revealed the logo. By the way, the logo looks really good. Now, everyone is going with the logo script. I'm not the guy. But if I were, I would say if this was the matchup, I would love to see Bears against the Jaguars in the Super Bowl. Or you could probably go something else. But wherever this goes, and it is not going to be broadcast on NBC, Fox, or CBS. Yes, because for the first time ever in network history, ESPN and ABC are both going to be channeled for Super Bowl 61, which is, I believe, an achievement for ESPN and ABC. And plus, it's also, I believe, sponsored or also brought by the company of Walt Disney. So I'm excited to see that. But that is on February 14 on Valentine's Day. And again, I will still keep doing NFL news or other sports news. But again, football may be done for the NFL, but we still got the UFL, the United Football League, in March. If you have not seen my other videos, go check them out on my channel. Of course, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And thank you, folks, for joining me for this journey. We started, as I mentioned earlier, at the predictions video, we started in week 1, Cowboys-Eagles. Eagles won the opener, to now the Seahawks defeating the Patriots to close out an incredible 2025 NFL season.